Buongiorno from Firenze, the city I've been most excited about visiting in all of Italy, including Rome. Because where else can you find the beauty of the Renaissance, and also a ton of imagery from my favorite game of all time, Assassin's Creed 2. Yes, this is going to be a great one of me fawning over buildings that I've climbed virtually. So join me as I explore Firenze. Florence is a very cute city, we're already observing as we walk down these alleys. Got a nice giant brick church here. I mean, not giant, but quite large for a random neighborhood. Taking it all in. All right, our first stop of the day is at Basilica Santa Croce, or Croce, I don't exactly know how you pronounce it. In any case, it is sort of the Westminster Abbey for Italy. This is where many famous Italians are buried. Over to our left, we see a statue of Dante Alighieri, who is buried here. A very famous Florentine, and actually popularized the use of the Florentine dialect of Italian to the point that it sort of became the preeminent style of Italian and the one we still hear mostly today. Buried here as well is Machiavelli for sure. I'm trying to remember who else. Galileo, I'm fairly certain. I'm sure I'll figure out more inside. And it's a pretty sprawling complex here. I wish the sun weren't behind it, but it's a similar general design to that which we'll find on the Duomo here in Florence, so it'll look familiar. I've also climbed this in Assassin's Creed, just a fun fact, as well as I think both of those buildings over there. So we're gonna go take some pictures outside and then take some video inside, so good first stop for the day, I think. And up close, the statue of Dante. Pretty freaking neat, folks. All right, we are inside Santa Croce Basilica. I gotta say, this in some ways impresses me a lot more than the Duomo we saw yesterday. Particularly, I'm gonna try to get a better shot of it than this because I know the windows are blocking out a bit, but the painted altar is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, I'll get a better shot of that in a second. Hang tight. First, let's do the ceiling. Wow. I don't know how well it comes out on film, but each of those support beams has some painting on it. It's really, really cool. So this is what impresses me the most. This painting goes all the way around. It just adds so much color and life to the church. Or basilica, I guess technically. It's pretty remarkable. I believe all these little things on the floor are where people are interred, so I do feel a little bit like I'm walking on graves at the moment. They're also beautiful. I mean, this whole church is very aesthetically pleasing. Once again, basilica, not church, but yeah, so it's this style all the way around. The main altar is sort of off to the side, so there's the main. And then go here. And just every little detail in this church. You know, it's not as magnificent as the Milano Duomo, but so well executed. In particular, these murals on the wall. I really like. To give you a sense of how many people are buried here, this is just one random section of floor. You can really see 6, 7, 8 burial sites. Oh, and then over here, we have our first famous person, Nicola Machiavelli. Famed writer of The Prince, a book about realpolitik. Near Machiavelli is the resting place of Dante Alighieri, probably the most famed Italian writer. And perhaps even more famous, sculptor Michelangelo. Buried here as well. And of course, what collection of Italian notables could be complete without Galileo Galilei, the astronomer? regarded today as one of the all-time great thinkers. Just can't get enough of this. The Basilica seems to get plainer and plainer the deeper into it you go. Still very neat here, very Italian, but yeah, not as fun to look at. Basilica Santa Croce is awesome. I mean, definitely check that out here in Florence. And the square around it is quite cool as well because the buildings are super old. In sort of that classic Florentine style, so feels very exotic in a way. Definitely recommend. And then I guess we'll see if the Duomo lives up to that later. And a short walk later, we've arrived at the #1 thing I wanted to see on this whole trip. The Duomo di Firenze. Or is it Del Firenze? Someone help me out with the Italian, don't know. In any case, this is, oops, there's my mask. Just a crazy beautiful church. I almost can't put into words how excited I am to look around on the inside. First, I need to get some food so I can properly enjoy everything. There's the line to get in. Incredible. So of course you climb this for a viewpoint, an AC2. And in here, in the dome, you find a seal to get into the crypt. So, spend lots of time here in video games. This entire complex is just breathtaking. Absolutely amazing. Now, sadly, there's quite a bit of construction as well, as there always is during winter in Europe. Well, it turns out the line to get in, even right now, is like, I don't know, 45 minutes-ish. But still in there, but it gives you lots of time to study the facade, the stunning facade. It's got buildings, friezes, absolutely fantastic. The wait was all worth it because look at this absolute beauty of the cathedral. I mean, come on. Under the largest brick dome in the world. The beautiful mural. Literally looks like you're looking up into heaven. Construction of this monumental building began in the 1300s, right at the end of them. And weren't completed for over 200 years. Well, about 200 years. Here you're going this way is a touch more plain than some of the other ones you've seen. But I think the dome more than makes up for that. When we talk about wow factor. Well, we've made it to the first stopping point, Chiano's Bell Tower. It's quite a long hike up. It's 400 some odd steps, so let's see what views we can get from here. Let's go easy. And not too shabby. Not too shabby a start. Certainly. It will only get better the farther we go. That's a great shot. Gets better and better the higher we go. All the way to the top. It is so unbelievably beautiful up here. Also so windy, but weirdly I'm not getting buffeted right now, so I don't know what to make of that. I can hear the wind. I don't feel like I did on some of the lower posts here. I don't know if we somehow got above the jet stream or what, but so there's sort of a similar shopping thing to Milan down there. Shopping gallery. Scusi. Here we go. On the Basilica down there. This is incredible. Just really amazing. Assassin's Creed fans will recognize that building right there as the place where Ezio Auditori's father is held before his execution. I'm fairly certain. So, how about that? It's amazing. You can see from here there are cracks in the dome from earthquakes and also just age. Hopefully it doesn't break today while I'm in it. That would really be a bummer. The hell images are really messed up. It's like disemboweled people and devils and all that, which I didn't see from down below. So I don't know what symbolism that has. The higher you go, the clearer you see hell or something. I don't know. Amazing. Alright, we've scaled the dome. Now we have the single best view in all of Florence, unobstructed by anything. So there's the prison thing I pointed out, Basilica. It's just, I'm gonna get the full panorama here, of course. I don't know how much I'm gonna edit it down here in final, but wow. Uber close to the roof. Party on the roof. After about a 2-hour break to watch the Formula One qualifying, which Charles Leclerc took pole in, we are back out. The sun is setting to go to the Central Market here. Hopefully find a little dinner, a little dessert, and of course to look at another old basilica, the one that we saw from the top of the cathedral. So, yeah. Back on it. We've arrived at the interior portion of everything here. Looks like there are a lot of food options. We'll have to decide among. Well, if you've ever wondered what the Duomo di Firenze looks like at night, pretty similar to how it looks during the day. except at night.